We have to begin the process of forgiving ourselves and forgiving our parents and forgiving all the other people in this world who have hurt us in these ways. Because, I mean, yes, you're welcome. There's so much more that I would love to talk about on all that stuff, but we'll talk about more mental health as the years go on, because it's the most important thing we're going to talk about, right? Yes.
My name is Keenan. I watched you on Good Mythical Morning. What was it like working with Rhett and Link?
It was so fun, man. The Shazam press tour, or as I called it, the Shazam Yes tour, because it was so fun. It really was. Oh man, just dreamy. But there's so many random things that you end up doing, just trying to put the good word of the movie out there and promote the movie, and various people like Rhett and Link that I end up going and doing Good Mythical Morning with. And I'm always like, we do interviews and talk about things all the time, whatever our projects are. So when you get to do something that's like a little outside of that, and all of a sudden you're playing a fun game, and I love games, bro, I love them. So yeah, I had no idea, and I specifically tell my team, like my publicist or manager or whatever, I'm like, I don't want you to tell me what I'm walking into. I want to just go, because I want it to be real as it can be, And those two are super, super sweet dudes, and really funny, and like family guys, and like they're just genuinely good people. And the whole mask game that we got to play was so ridiculous. If you haven't had a chance, go to Rhett and Link's YouTube, and their Good Mythical Morning, their episode of me, Good Mythical Morning, we play this really silly game where we're wearing these masks, but we don't know what we're wearing. And I think after seeing my own mask, the clue that they gave me of being like Big Bird's like tougher brother or something, I was like, yes, that makes total sense. So anyway, go check that out. But yeah, it was fun, man. Yeah, thanks. Hi.
My name's Erica.
Nice to
My
meet
daughter Lily loves you so much right now.
What was that?
My daughter Lily
Oh,
loves
daughter.
you so much.
Where's your daughter Lily?
Sing now.
Hi, Lily. Hi. Oh, hi. Oh, you're just a little one. The lights are so blinding. Oh, you're adorable.
So my question
Yes.
is, if you had a chance to play any Marvel characters or a different DC character, who would you love to play and why?
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I've said many times on record that I like, Deadpool ultimately ended up becoming my favorite Marvel character, just because I mean, he's, like the coolest looking ninja, like Snake Eyes, but with like a cooler pattern on his suit, and double katanas and machine guns, and teleportation, and the mark with the mouth, and all of that. Like, I just thought it was such a fun, dynamic character. But Ryan's deftly playing that, and he's doing a fantastic job, so good to them. Gambit was probably ultimately my favorite of the X-Men, and I think character to play. Also, I mean, I was super into the whole X-Men mutant world. So like X-Factor, X-Force, New Mutants, all that. So I like Havoc. Havoc was a buddy of mine. I mean, basically, when you're reading comics, all of them become your buddies. Havoc, I quite like. Multiple Man, I thought was a really fun character too. So yeah, any of that stuff. And then in the DC world, I mean, I don't know. I always thought Green Lantern, go back to yet another Ryan Reynolds role, but Green Lantern I think is such an awesome character that I can't wait for them to find who's gonna take up that mantle and keep building the league, keep building the league. That could be fun. But I'm very happy being Billy Batson. That's the greatest. Wouldn't change it. Honestly, wouldn't change it for the world. It's just the greatest. Yeah. Excellent question. Thank you. And bye, Lily. Hi.
Hi, Zachary. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
Okay, so my niece wasn't able to make it today, and she just adores you. And she was wondering who would survive best in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, the apocalypse is also a really tragic.
Would it be Eugene Fitzherbert, Shazam, or Chuck?
Well, be Shazam. I mean, only magic can hurt me. Plus, I got lightning from my hands. I mean, I would just zap all of those zombies' heads off. It'd be way too easy. And then Probably, well then actually Flynn would fare well because he's animated, so yeah, so Chuck would be the only one that really had any problems. We'd work that out. And hello to your niece for me as well. Yeah. Hi, you must be from Hogwarts. I love the big smile that just put it here. He's like, he sees it. He gets it. I get it.
I was wondering if you could have one of Shazam's powers, which would you pick and how do you use it to your advantage?
Excellent question. I like that you added, how do you use it for your advantage? That's it. So I thought about this a lot, because I think about these things a lot. Because I'm a nerd. And, amen. I mean, some of you are literally adorned with the shirts that I made that say such a thing. You know how. Yeah, I see you, Booth. So if I had to pick any of them, it would be the wisdom of Solomon. Now, to some people, that's not nearly as flashy or as cool, and I get that. It's not as cool as being able to fly or shoot electricity from my fingertips or whatever. But first of all, as somebody who, as a spiritual person, who has some kind of an understanding of what the profundity of the wisdom of Solomon is, I think that's a pretty tremendous gift to be able to have. But more than that, if you think about it, if you had the wisdom of Solomon, you could then make a super suit that gave you all the other superpowers. You're basically, at that point, you're just like a super wise Tony Stark. You know what I'm talking about? So, wisdom of Solomon, check. And I could use that to my advantage in a number of ways. But hopefully, and I really do mean this, I hope that if I was ever put in a position like that, which would be super cool, I'd probably have, I think any of us, I wouldn't blame any of us for wanting to go fly around for a couple of days and just having a joyride. But then after that, you realize you've been given, not to quote another superhero, but one that's also kind of similar to Billy Batson, with great power comes great responsibility. And I hope that I would use every bit of that to go do right in this world, to go stop bad people from doing bad things and help good people do good things. That's what we're going to do. It's okay. Oh, you're shaking too. You guys are incorrigible! Oh no, you really are shaking. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, it's okay. No, I'm gonna jump off the stage right now.
So, if you could be referred to as either of these two, would you rather be called a Disney prince or a DC superhero?
Yes! Disney superhero. Let's start a war in here. And what's your question?
Hi. You're known for being very positive and optimistic.
What are you talking about?
Does that come naturally, or have you created habits for yourself to keep that up?
I mean, I think a little bit of both. I mean, like I was alluding to before, and like I've talked about in many of the interviews that I've been able to do on the Shazam Yes tour, right prior to getting the job, I went through some super, super dark times, and I went to super intensive therapy that basically saved my life. And that, and the tools that I learned there, and all the love and prayers from my family and friends. And by the way, so many of you guys, I've seen your love and your prayers on Twitter and Instagram, and it means the world to me. I know that we might not know each other, but knowing the people who don't actually even know me, that are lifting me up and praying for me, it means everything. And it's part of what helped me get back to a place of light in my life. Prior to that, I was always a spazzy, outgoing, if you know anything about the Enneagram or subscribe to it, a 7, like pure 7 on the Enneagram, like, because all I want to do is feel joy and bring joy, and feel joy and bring joy. And part of that also, feel love and bring love. I feel like if I have any mission on this earth, it's to do more of that. And entertainment I fell into because I learned early on, I could make people feel joy by making them laugh. I could do it intentionally. That made them feel good. That made me feel good. I didn't ever want to stop doing that. So all that plus, all the ways that honestly, even unhealthy things, even things that were the ways that the things that happen to us in our lives that might not be ideal, but I still believe can be redeemed by God to be a good and positive thing and force in your life, and it's given me empathy for a lot of the stuff that I've gone through. So all of that was already kind of in me, but I'm so grateful that now on the other side of actually getting healing for my own heart, the more you can know and love yourself, the better you can go know and love other people. And I am so grateful. So that's all part of that. You gotta work on it. It's a daily thing. I spend time in prayer morning and night. You can meditate, go to the gym, take care of yourself. Guys, love yourself. You're so worthy of it. You're so worthy of all the love that you feel in your life. If you feel like you're not feeling loved, you're loved. Go ask people around you. Go ask your friends and family. You're loved, you're loved, you're loved. And go love yourself. It's so important. Anyway, so I'll stop my time.
My question is, in the Shazam suit, how much of that was you and how much of that
was me? Can't you tell? I mean, first of all, I find it to be one of the most ridiculous questions, like from the beginning, where people are like, I bet there's padding in there. It's like taking a big sip of Coca-Cola and being like, I bet there's sugar in this. As if there's a picture of me in the suit behind me. Can't you see? I mean, my shoulders look like Dwight Howard. It's like, you can't... I have big shoulders, but there's clearly augmentation there. But bro, I mean, I've been busting my butt in the gym for 18 months and 6 days a week, and eating crazy amounts of chicken and broccoli, and, by the way, also super grateful for it. Warner Brothers paid me to get in the greatest shape of my life. I'm stronger and healthier than I've ever been in my life, mentally, emotionally, physically, all of it, and I don't want to stop. I just want all of us to be strong and healthy. I want us to go dominate this world. Guys, the world's gonna be so groovy when we all love each other. It's gonna be amazing. I can't even tell you. What's that?
thing?
What?
It has to be asked, did you ever learn to pee in that thing?
No, I just win. That suit stunk by the end of that movie. I had two costumers that had to unzip my nether regions in order for me to model to the bathroom. And if I had to do a number 2, I had to take the whole dang thing off. It was, Aren't you glad you asked?
So my question is, how did it feel to play a ginormous child in Shazam?
Like a walk in the park, my friends. I mean, honestly, I think, I'm pretty sure, and David Sandberg, our director, and our producer, Peter Saffron, pretty much everybody involved in the decision-making that blessed me with this job, can all attest to the fact that probably the biggest deciding factor in that I got the job was that I was just a big man-child, and in loose terms, I've always, I don't know. I mean, look, you guys, if you've been to these panels before, have you seen, even Chuck, your essence as an actor, even though sometimes you get to play lots of different characters that aren't really, let's say, are, very much like us. Most of the time, actors play characters that are very much like them, or at least a part of them. And obviously, I'm not a 14-year-old, basically 15-year-old kid. But I kind of am, because I've always, like I was saying to that lady before, like I just love joy and imagination. I get to work in a business where I get to use my imagination all the time. Like even doing movies like Alvin and the Chipmunks, I had to use my imagination a lot doing a movie like that because we would rehearse with stuffed animals that were on these long poles and the prop people would like move around. I was like, this is crazy, what is happening? And then I was sitting in the scene and I'd had to remember where Alvin, Simon, and Theodore were when we rehearsed it, and then I'd just imagine there's Alvin over there doing Alvin-y things, and there's Theodore being wah-wah. Like, it was so... But it was so fun. Like, it's so fun to actively use your imagination. And these are the things that we lose, guys. We lose. The older we get, the more responsibilities start piling on our shoulders, and the more we lose touch with the things that bring us to life, I think, in really cool, great ways, and we need to foster that. And I have, for better or for worse, fostered all that in me pretty tremendously over my life. And, you know, and playing video games and reading comic books and loving going to superhero movies. So me on screen as Billy, a lot of that enthusiasm was just Zach being super stoked that he was a superhero and not having to rein it in. I mean, could you kind of like, it would kind of suck to be, not, hear me out when I say this, not suck to be Batman, being Batman would be amazing, but if you get cast as Batman, you gotta know, like Christian Bale was stoked. He was like, oh my God, I get to be Batman! And then the cameras roll and it's like, you know what it's like? You don't even get to use that. Like, I was like, well, I'm a superhero! And then I would show up on set, the cameras are all like, I'm a